we're going to talk about Joe Biden saying that voting reform is the biggest challenge since the Civil War. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, also comment on this video. Joe Biden made one of the most incendiary comments I have heard in a long time. He said voting reform is the biggest challenge since the Civil War. The Republican Party in some of the Republican states have put in voting reform measures. They are basically saying that you have to show ID to vote. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the Congressional Black Caucus don't want that to happen. Even though 85% of all Americans believe that you should show voter ID, and 70% of African Americans believe that you should show voter ID when you go to the polls. Now, the biggest problem that they have is ballot measures that don't let them ballot harvest, that don't let community organizations pick up ballots that they may not deem legal. But I believe your vote is very important in this country. It's one vote. And if black people who vote higher than white people, so Joe Biden is actually saying that this is going to inhibit voting, especially in states like Georgia, which gave you more days to vote. You have upwards to 17 days to vote before election day. Even in Texas, more days. But basically, this is the lie that the Democrats are saying. And I believe, to me, it's disrespectful, and it makes us seem ignorant. They are saying that black people don't have IDs to vote. Black people who happen to be in rural communities. This is what Kamala Harris said. There's not enough Kinko's machines in rural areas. Basically, they are saying that black people are too damn stupid to have an ID and go to polls and vote. That's a lie. One thing that hurt the big lie that Joe Biden is saying. Joe Biden is the man who's saying that you have to get vaccinated. Did you know before you got vaccinated you have to show ID? You also may have to show your health care card. So basically they're asking you for the same information that they're asking right before you vote. This is nothing but gaslighting the black community to get out for the 2022 election. And let me tell you something. I live in New York State, a predominantly all Democrat state. Governors, senators, county executives, and mayors. We have some of the toughest voter laws in the country. When I go vote, I have to show my ID. Then they go through the book and find my name because I'm an independent, and you sign. Then you go vote. But they're saying that is too much. But when you're saying that is too much, you're basically saying, wait a minute, we want the Wild Wild West when we vote. They don't want you to check a name. They don't care who's voting. They don't care if absentee ballots come from God knows where. Because they believe it gives them the opportunity to win elections. Now you have to know this. All they tell us is that they're fighting for our right to vote. But we're fighting for their right to be in power. But all this fighting that we have put forward, where's the tangibles? What have we gotten? I'll tell you what we got. We got a Juneteenth holiday. And it's not just for black people because everybody get the day off. We might get a $20 bill with Harriet Tubman. But are we getting tangibles that can change the trajectory of our community? When American Rescue Act came out, did we receive any one of those $32.6 billion that went to Indian, Asian, American communities? Did we get a cut of that money that went to the Asian hate crime bill, which was $50 million, and probably more to come in the reconciliation bill that's coming in the next month or two? All we got is symbolic messages from Joe Biden. How many executive orders have we received from Joe Biden protecting us from hate crime? But all we have seen is gaslighting to make sure that we get out for the midterm elections. And for all those Texas legislators going to Washington, if voting really helped black people, why is every black community in shambles in America? They promise you everything but give you nothing, because the only thing they care about is their seat in power. And the only way they can keep that seat is to keep you voting for them. See, what you have to understand is that the Asian community got more than you did, and they voted for Trump. They got a bill that they didn't ask for. They got money that they didn't ask for. Hell, they got Stephen A. Smith apologizing on TV for making a statement. The Native Americans, who are predominantly Republican, most people didn't even know that. They voted over 51 or 52% for President Trump. But what did Joe Biden do? He rewarded them with billions of dollars. And this is a community that already has their own land in America, in which they can have casinos and they can make millions of dollars. But what they do with black people, they leave us in a perpetual state of poverty. And by leaving us in that protected state of poverty, one thing they know, we will keep voting for the Democrat Party, believing in the dream that one day they will free us from this poverty. They have no vision for black America. They like it just the way it is. And most of you don't even know it. Why should I change something and I'm getting 9%, 90% of the vote? What they truly believe behind closed doors is that they like their condition. They don't mind living in this condition. As long as we give them a few crumbs and some symbolic measures, everything is okay. Joe Biden doesn't care about voting reform. All Joe Biden cares about is the 2022 election, that Nancy Pelosi is still in power in the Congress, in the House. Chuck Schumer is still in power in the Senate. That's all he really cares about. He doesn't care about you or your voting rights, because voting rights really don't matter in America. It matters when you donate money to a campaign. This is why the Jewish community has so much power. This is why the Indian American Asian community has so much power. This is why the Asian community has more power to you, because they donate to the parties. So their issues are addressed. But all Joe Biden has to do is say a few words. Those evil Republicans in voting. But when will somebody stand up and say, what the hell has all this voting got us? But a feel-good moment. And once that moment is gone, we go back to the same damn conditions. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel. smash that like button, but also share this video.